We're live with Mike Fede, 150%.
I haven't heard that in a long time. You know what's funny is like whenever I hear that, like I mean obviously I know where it comes from because I'm like, okay, you're an OG of watching Scotty's channel. Like I think that's cool.
Yeah.
But sometimes like a little side of me kind of just wants to kind of get away from that, you know, do my own thing.
Hey, I feel it. Speaking of doing your own thing, what's been going on in your BMX world lately?
I don't know. I'm just making videos, fun videos, and got a sticker machine.
What
Start making
kind of
stickers.
sticker machine? You get Cricket?
No, I bought it's called a cameo silhouette.
Oh, is that a fancy
So
one?
it's not that fancy though. Like I was like looking up online because I made stickers through Teespring recently, and I was like, dude, they want to charge, like they want me to charge people like an astronomical amount of money in my opinion. So I was like, I could sell like 3 or 4 stickers to somebody for $5 versus one sticker for $5, and then they have to pay shipping. So I was like, so I looked at like what ad revenue came in from YouTube, and I was like, all right, I'll put a portion of that towards a sticker machine. So I looked up videos, and there's actually a guy. His name is or his channel I think I came across was like Mahalo guy or something like that, or he's like a mountain bike channel. And when I saw that he like got a vinyl cutter and he's like shows how to do it, and I was like, I wonder what vinyl cutter that is. So I look it up. I saw it on Amazon. It was like $300. I was like, I was with my buddy Matt, and I was like, I'm gonna buy this. He's like, no, you're not. I was like, no, I'm gonna buy this right now. Like, it looks really easy. And I bought it, and I made like 30 stickers last night as like a joke, even though it's not really a joke. Like I plan on selling these stickers, but I made stickers and T-shirts to say all bikes matter. To kind of
Oh,
like play
jeez.
to kind of like play on the words of what's
Yeah.
going on in the world. And that's kind of my whole point is like everybody's going through 2020 and it's shit, right? So like my latest like clothing drop, sticker drop for this season is going to be a play on words and emotions of this time. So like one of my favorite shirts I just designed recently was like a weathered American flag. Not that this is like a plug. I don't mean for this to be a plug. I'm just explaining where my mind is. So like you don't have the people don't have to like buy my stuff. I'm just explaining where I come from. So like I made a shirt called Weathered America, and the point behind it is like I wanted the flag to look like it's going through some shit, because in 2020 we've all gone through some shit, and that's kind of where I wanted that part of the line to go. And then like everybody's been talking about this, you know, like different organizations and Black Lives Matter. So I was like, you know, there's a bunch of people that always want to chant things that are opposing that. So I just had fun with it, and I put all bikes matter, and I put all different bikes in stencils right below the text, like unicycles. I know it's not a bicycle, but it's kind of the point. You know, bikes can identify as whatever they want. But anyway, that's kind of where I've been. I'm just like super motivated to do like too much at once, and I've been trying to put videos out every day. Actually, I'm trying to be like you. What is that?
What's it look like?
It looks like a plug.
you just you just walked. I was like, ooh, it got you.
Oh damn. So I don't know, dude. Like
That's
I
awesome.
don't know. I'm just trying to do it all. I'm just trying to do it all, and because I'm having fun with it. I feel like when you're doing a lot, you're having the most fun. And I think you understand where I'm coming from. Like I feel like when you're like stagnant in something and you're not enjoying it as much, you only do like the bare minimum. And I feel like it could be looked at 2 ways. Like I'm putting out a lot of videos, and I'm like developing shirts and stickers, and some people will look at it as like always hungry for views and money. And I'm like, no, I'm excited. And I feel like I think you know where I'm coming from. Where like you get excited about something, you just want to keep going.
Yeah, I'm gonna say my part on that as soon as I shout out everyone in the chat
Yeah,
because
no doubt.
everyone's saying what's up. Eat my salt, Sean, Stony, John Bell, Sean, another Sean, and then we got CX fried rice, something like that. Speaking of hub guards, not all hub guards work on all hubs. There are some that are specific to other hubs. Say if you have a profile hub, you can buy hubs guards made specifically and only for a profile hub. Same with other hubs from other companies, so you make sure when you buy one you get one that's either universal or fits exactly the hub that you have. Usually the ones that fit hubs specifically are made to like replace hardware on them so that they fit into your frame better without having to stretch it out. And there's your 30-second elevator speech and quick rundown on hub guards. So
No,
speaking
I mean,
of
you're right.
what?
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, I have a profile hub, and it's like I have to run a profile hub guard. I can't run any other hub guard because it won't seat well with it.
Yeah, right,
But go on.
exactly. Well, yeah. So, Sean, I would say if you don't want to ruin your spokes and hubs, you definitely want to get a hub guard. G-Sport Uniguard is definitely a good one because it goes on the outside of your frame and you don't have to worry about stretching your frame, and it will fit with any rear hub. I haven't tried it on the front. And if you have rant hubs, I'm guessing they don't make a rant specific hub guard. But in regards to being hungry and just doing everything you possibly can, I feel you're probably the same as a lot of people on YouTube and myself, where if you get that spare time and you're just sitting there, you feel guilty for not doing anything. It is a
Exactly.
real thing. It's probably a sickness. It's probably not healthy. But what it also is productive, and it makes successful people.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I feel about like sleeping in. So like, not that I say I don't sleep in, but I stay up late and I try to go to bed to where I'm so exhausted that when it's finally time to go to bed, that when my head hits the pillow, I go to sleep. I'm not sitting there like, oh, like my phone's over here, I can look at this, or like thinking about anything. Boom, I just want to be knocked out. And
Yeah.
maybe you look at that as like FOMO, like fear of missing out, fear of like not doing something. I don't know. Like anybody that knows me knows that I'm up until 3 and I wake up at 7. And I feel like that's not for everyone. Don't get me wrong. It does suck sometimes burning the candle at both ends, but like the gratification at the end of the day outweighs it for sure.
Oh, 100%. I mean, 150%.
I'm gonna kill you.
You're not gonna do nothing. So you're 100% there, and the other side of that, the fear of missing out, coming from the stock world. That's a funny thing to bring somewhere else. Big part of that is like we know how long what we do takes us. We know how long it takes us to make a video. We know how long it takes us to do whatever, and we know that 30 minutes you spent laying in bed, at least sometimes this is me, I'm laying there, I'm like scrolling on my phone. I realize I'm wasting time, but I'm like, I know that I could have used that 30 minutes and then I would have finished something else that would have gave me 30 more minutes or even more than that later in the day. And it's like it adds to that guilt majorly. Even today, like I was supposed to go drive 2 hours south, and then it ended up falling through. So I had like 4-5 hours of time today that I didn't have, to where now I edited the video for tomorrow that I was going to edit after we got done with our live stream. So now, this is a perfect example. So now I get to go to bed after this and wake up for work tomorrow morning when they last minute ask me if I would be able to go in and film and get there before I even normally would wake up for work. And I'm not going to have to miss out on any sleep. I'll be well rested. And it's all because I spent that extra time I had editing a video instead of just not doing anything or being unproductive.
Or you can look at it that the plan was already set and you were already going to do that. You just didn't know that.
Well, I mean,
we can get really deep with it.
I mean, yeah. Even if that was the case, though, that's the case for literally everything. You could say that about anything, and then it's like, well, then
no decision's actually yours. You know?
Yeah. Hey, we can get into the topic. I was supposed to ask this to Casey Smith, but Eddie, I don't know how to say your last name. Is it Cooler or Culer? Curling iron? I would like to know, and Mike, you can answer this, because since Casey's not here, the difference, or if anyone feels that there's a difference between East and West Coast like core BMX and how hard it is to make it between the two. I feel like Midwest is included in East Coast as well because there's literally no denying that it's harder in the Midwest and East Coast to make it than it is on the West Coast.
I mean, it's all a matter of who you are. Like, not who you are, but yeah, it is. It's all a matter of your personality and who you are. So it's like, if you're a driven person, you're like, hey, I want this, then you're gonna go out to that area and get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like,
which is why people move to the West Coast.
Yeah, you move. I mean, it's always been a thing where you move to where the cameras are. You move to where the videographers, the photographers are. A lot of people moved to New York City to meet up with, like, was it Jeff Z lived there for a while, and Dalecki and all them. So, like, a lot of people would move closer to them so they could shoot more content. At that time, it wasn't called content with them. Let me put you on mute real quick because I got. See, guys, just so you guys know, I have a business, but I don't really put it out there because I don't want anybody attacking. If you have a problem with me, cool, but don't go attacking my livelihood. So let me put you on mute so you can't hear this.
You're all good, Mike. But Eddie, the reason why I wanted to wait to ask until you were in here was because you have a lot of friends on the West Coast who have went from being Midwest, East, wherever they came from, to being on the West Coast and then making it, and maybe even people who are like from out there that have come up and made it. And somebody asked if maybe just to get the opinions on the differences, I guess.
I mean, in my opinion, I think it's easier now to quote make it than it ever has been because you have what we have right here, phones and all that. Like, it's so easy, it's readily available for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, people are still going to be procrastinators. People are still not going to do the work, you know? Like, back in the day, like, doing the work was like cool. How you doing? Cool. It would be like, cool, all right, this event's going on. I'll give you an example. Like, one of the first events I ever went to, Binghamton, New York. It was called La Revolution. And I read about it in a magazine, and I was like, I need to go here because this is where all the shit's happening. Like, I know I'm not a contest rider, but I know that you have to ride contests to be somewhat recognized.
Yeah.
So that's what you did. Now it's like, oh, sweet, I don't have to drive 500 miles or fly halfway across the country to go to a contest. I can just put out something with my phone and make people like see views and likes, but then that's also kind of like destroying it because it's like then you're only doing it for the views and the likes. I kind of touched on this on like a previous video because I don't know if you saw like that Netflix documentary that everybody was like raving about called
The Social Network
Social Dilemma.
Yeah, that.
I watched it after everybody was like raving about it, but I was like, I've been saying this shit for years that everybody seriously is like addicted to the instant gratification, and I need that heart. I've seen so many people like put up a post, and within like 20 or 30 minutes they take it down because it doesn't get the
Yeah, I watched your video where you talked about that at the beginning.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to put something like that out, but at the same time, like, you and I have had this conversation where like I've talked to you about like, do I do what I want to do on my channel, or do I do what people expect of my channel? Like, do I only post bike riding videos and that's kind of what people are subscribed to my channel for? Or do I do what I want to do and hope to reach more people like me or like-minded, whether you ride bikes, mountain bikes, whether you just watch my video because you saw an electric skateboard, or for whatever reason. So I decided to go that route where I just touched on it a little bit, and it got a little bit of feedback, you know, and I feel like a lot of people can relate. But my whole point of this is like, there's actually a setting on your phone you should look into. You can go in and put a time limit on your apps. So that's what I've been doing. I put a time, like literally my time to only go on anything other than text and YouTube Studio is like, I will only look at it from like 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. That's like my little gap to where I'm on my computer and I can see it. Anytime after that, when I'm trying to be productive, it won't even allow me. I mean, I can like, yes, you can like override it, be like unlock it for 1 hour. But I've been listening to it, and it's like dramatically cut down my screen time, and I'm not anywhere near as high as some people I know.
Oh, dude, you don't even want to know. When you said yours, I was like, damn, because mine is insane.
What's yours?
I
Well,
don't.
mine. I mean, you have to look at this. Like mine, the majority of it, they still count it as screen time, even if you're not looking at your screen. So like, I'll leave. Like I like to listen to like Rogan's podcast, or if I have Crowder open on like on his app, I have to leave it open. Otherwise, if you lock it, it doesn't like play the audio. So I just leave it open. So that's mainly probably what my most of my screen time is. That is my excuse.
Yeah, all of my screen time is when I'm actually sitting there looking at it. The only time it's not on, or it's on and I'm not looking at it, is like if I have a text or something up and it's just sitting there and I'm like waiting for it to reply. Dude, I have like 6.5 hours of screen time every day.
Yo, my friend Matt has, not even joking right now, probably like 12 or 13 hours.
That is crazy.
I mean, if he's in, I told him I was going to be on the stream tonight. If he's in here, he can verify. I've seen it on his phone before. He wouldn't even show me. He wouldn't even show me his weekly screen time.
Jeez, I mean, I like to feel like a lot of what I'm doing is productive.
Yeah.
Other than, I mean, sometimes just scrolling through Facebook and Instagram and stuff. But like, I deleted my Facebook app and only use it on Safari so that it's a pain in the ass and I don't really use it that much.
Oh, Facebook was lit last night. You know.
Oh, dude, I click on that and I'm like, Facebook, why must you be the way you are? And like, I know there's people not posting about this. Show me that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then that's all I saw today. And I have a tendency to just kind of like fuck with people that are just too emotional about this shit. Like it actually matters. Like these election stuff does not matter. It doesn't. But so many people are so emotional. So I can't just, the dick inside of me can't just.
I'm literally like, I don't know. Kurt, I showed you my list. I made a list. Kurt gave me the idea to write things down and make lists to get stuff done. And that list led to me staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning 2 nights in a row to work on a full-length video that I've been meaning to get done for 3 years.
Like a riding video?
Yeah. Dude.
That's awesome.
Dude, I got some crazy stuff in the works that I don't like want to talk about publicly because I feel like anytime I do that, it doesn't happen.
Real. Well, then it's real. Like I feel like you kind of have to sometimes to hold yourself accountable.
It is real though. It is real. Let's just say something really, really cool could happen. It's just going to hinge on one thing that I'm not totally sure of, and that one thing is copyright. I don't know if it's going to affect what I'm trying to do or not, but if it doesn't, it's going to be sick.
Copyright, you said? I got hit with a copyright this morning.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't want to say more than that until it is 100% solid. Oh, yeah, dude. There's clips in this video, Eddie, that were filmed like 6-7 years ago. But,
I'm going to prop you up here. Are you good with that? I'm just going to make sure we don't. It looks good. All right, let's make sure we have no logos in the background. That's all. Go ahead. Keep talking.
But, yeah, so basically, as soon as I get approval and I pay for it, and it is 100% happening, I will talk about it. And it's probably going to be the coolest thing that I've ever done.
So you're waiting for approval from copyright stuff to make sure it's good to do it?
Yeah, I'm waiting for approval for it because I'm worried about copyright. I'm worried about copyright and affecting it because technically it's approved and I could like pay for it and it could be a thing right now and be done. But like, I don't know for sure, and as soon as there's a review, it could be like, nope, copyright, can't do this.
You know that there's people out there. That are like copyright striking people for fun of it, and then you have to appeal it. I've had that happen to me twice.
I've seen certain things like that. Props doesn't let you show anything of theirs. I showed a props video in a live stream one time, and it took down my live stream for a few minutes because of the copyright, and then they took all of the monetization from my live stream because of that copyrighted clip.
How do they prove it though? Because their logo?
No, because the way that YouTube. Okay, first I'll finish the story, then I'll explain how YouTube copyright works. So they took that down, even though commentary is transformative and you are allowed to show these things, and still, like, it's fair use. You're allowed to do it.
I've seen Crowder talk about this before, where he was showing like a CNN bit, and CNN like took it down right away, even though he was talking the whole time.
Yeah, so you're allowed to do that. That's 100% fair use. But I did that over a props video, and instead of appealing it, I just deleted that part from it and re-uploaded it because I did not feel like dealing with the backlash of, oh, Jesus, this YouTube guy's trying to make money from showing a props video, like the core elitist bullshit assholes of BMX. But how YouTube recognizes copyright is that, say you have a given piece of video, like our live stream right now, it has certain pieces of information in different, like a quadrant, certain color information in these certain places in the video. And YouTube, that's how YouTube recognizes video copyright, is when enough of those quadrant things line up, it matches up with a piece of video content, and then they can tell what it is.
So why wouldn't you just put it in black and white then?
Well, it's not. It's just the information there. I'm sure. I don't know. That's why, like, on Joe Rogan's podcast, they'll do, like, when Jamie's, like, afraid of something, but he'll still show it. He'll make it transparent a little bit so that the information is totally changed, but you can still see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then music is kind of similar, and that's why some people do certain things with audio to make it past the copyright thing to where it's, like, not recognizable. Yo, thanks, John Bell. 20 grip, what's up? What's up, Mr. Billy? Kurt Rowell. No volume. What do you mean no volume? It should be good. What's up, Kiss BMX? Mike is double teaming it right now, making money and live streaming. That's what we're talking about, being productive.
Always. Gotta always have hustling. So YouTube's like the side hustle, I'd say. This is the main point.
I feel it too. YouTube is my side hustle that I'm trying to make my main hustle.
Yeah. I wonder if I swipe up, will it just pause the video?
You'll be able to talk, but it'll.
Yeah, I just need to text. I just need to text them real quick.
Yeah, it'll just take your video off for a second, but you'll still be able to talk. Oh, look, it's Mike Fede at Simple Session. What's up, Full Metal Nick? Neck, not Nick. Oh, dude, it's been a long day. But, yeah, so copyright's a thing. There could be something really, really, really cool that I have to share in the future. I mean, there is going to be a really, really cool part of it that I will be able to 100% share. Mm-hmm. But the other thing, man, I tried to make this happen when I was 16 and actually got a response, but then it never went further. And then I tried again, and it's...
What's that?
I tried again now, and it's like, could happen.
Like a sponsor deal?
No. Man, I probably should try and do more of that, because I guarantee that I'm in a place where it would work. I just haven't. I like the organic nature of things. Like when things...
You can always do sponsor deals and just do what works best for you. Like I've had maybe in the last year, like 10 different companies kind of reach out to do like different sponsor things on my channel.
Yeah.
But I've only really accepted one or two.
Yeah.
Because if I can't visualize it with like one, if I don't already use this stuff, or if I can't visualize like it actually working with the channel and like me being able to like give something to the viewers that's educational or purposeful, then I won't do it.
Yeah, totally understandable. I'm the same way. I mean, I had a vape company. I probably told you about the vape company that hit me up.
Yeah.
To do that. I was literally they wanted me to test the durability and stuff, and I'm like, all right, I'll just run it over with cars and not
You
actually
should have
use it.
tested it. You should have made fun of vapors with it. Collected the check and then just fake vaped. Just like a whole skit video.
Yeah. Yo, if Sunday wanted to pay for this live stream, I would literally put a giant Sunday logo over all of us and have us talk under it if they paid me enough money, but they will never do that, so I don't have to. No one has to worry about that.
What's your number?
My number?
Yeah, you said if they paid you enough money. What's your number?
Well, I guess it would depend. Is this a one-time payment or a reoccurring fee?
So he's saying that he'll do it for cheaper if it's a reoccurring thing, guys.
I'm saying money talks, and my bills listen. And I think it's funny that we just like to just sit here and joke and talk about that whenever some people won't even acknowledge it or talk about it at all. Like, I don't like to talk about money publicly.
No, I talk about it.
I think there's no reason not to. I think keeping it ambiguous and secret is kind of what's a word for that?
It's selfish when you're trying to be selfless and everybody says you got to do something for BMX and you only care about yourself. The people that only care about themselves in BMX, pop this light on, are the ones that keep everything to themselves. So, like, I'm not saying, like, you can't collect a $30,000 a year paycheck, $50,000 a year paycheck from a company, but talk to people about it, because if you don't, then all you're doing is hurting the industry. Because what if there's another rider? I understand, because it is like a dog-eat-dog world in BMX. It's like, because there's only so much money to go around, but, like, if you're getting paid corporate money from a corporate company, unless it says it in your contract, like, yeah, you can't talk about this. At the end of the day, like, when you work at a day job, like, everybody knows.
Yeah.
I could Google right now. Like, one of my friends, like, told me where they work and stuff like that. Like, you could easily go, like, on Glassdoor and just find out as soon as I know the position, what they're getting paid each year.
Yeah.
Like, it should be no different in the industry. And
it's secretive, and there's a lot of people who are scared to lose their piece of the pie. And I think that the people who are putting in the work and making things happen for themselves and continuing to hustle for it and aren't lazy don't have anything to worry about.
Yep.
Kurt Rowell says, how much for my name to be on the stream every time? DM me the number. How much should it cost him to be on the live stream with his name every single time?
Well, like on the green screen?
Yeah, just like in text above my head.
Hold on, are we talking like name or like Instagram name?
I don't know.
He could make one on Instagram.
Depends on what he wants.
I don't know. Average viewership, 20 people.
There's 30 people in here right now.
All right, 30. So, like, maybe I would say $1 per person.
So, like, $25 a stream.
Yeah, but unless
it goes up with viewership over time.
Yeah, yeah, right. Unless it gets like insane, 2,500 viewers, you're like, oh shit.
Yep. Dude's fighting over a $500 check and would sell out a best friend for that check. It sucks. It does suck, and it's the reality of it, and it sucks that that's the way that it is. And guess what? Tomorrow, Montana Ricky and I are going live and talking about this exact topic of sponsorship and all.
I was just going to ask you, like, where the hell he's been.
Yeah, where the heck he's been?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wondered the same thing. When he jumped into the chat with Casey, I was like, man, I was beginning to think you didn't like me anymore.
I thought he got COVID or some shit.
No, there's a few things. Do I get to dictate the content since I'm the sponsor? Personal phone numbers of people are not allowed. He said to put Ricky's phone number on the stream. He said, how much for name but Ricky's cell phone number? That is hilarious.
Yeah, I think, dude, it's funny because, like, the money that you were talking about, like, somebody said $500. It was way more. Like, riders used to get paid way more than that. But the thing was, everybody undercut each other.
Yeah.
So, like, when a rider would find out, wow, that person can get paid $2,000 a month, like, shoot, you give me free parts and a T-shirt, I'll do it for that. And then the companies are looking at it like, what the hell am I giving him $2,000 a month for when I could get, like, 10 kids on already invested money because they already put the money out for the frames.
Yeah.
Give them frames, give them products, send them on their merry way, and there you go.
Yep.
Now I got my exposure for my company because 10 people's better than one big name that can't do anything right now during COVID because there's no contest going on, no events.
Yep. And then you got the companies probably realizing that there's a lot of people on their teams that don't bring them any value because they don't really do anything other than ride their bikes, which can bring value. There's certain people in BMX who just them riding their bikes, even 15 years ago, just riding your bike was enough, and it would bring value to a company. But today, it just doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
And there's I think it's crazy that's the way that it is. I do like whenever companies bring on kids that have no social media following and like try to start things that way with somebody, because then it gives like a ground level thing for them to, like, if they want to put in the work, it happens.
Yeah.
But Ricky and I are definitely going to talk about this whole thing. Name the names of people not doing anything. I don't know people personally. You can just say that and know that it's true.
Name the people that aren't doing anything. Am I going to like really like open up a can of worms? Like people are going to mention me on Instagram if I do this, Brent?
I don't know. This is your decision, not mine. I don't.
No, I need a little bit of insight here. You think I should just lay off that one? I should probably lay off that one.
Hey, this is up to your discretion. I'm not going to try and instigate you on that because I know how the can of worms can be.
Yeah, I'm not saying that like people don't do work as in like they're not riding, but I know I'm pretty familiar with like what a contract looks like these days compared to, I mean, the last contract I signed with the company had a lot of social media integration into it. So I can only imagine that right now it is all social media integration. And you're right. I'm not even going to mention any names. Here's the best thing you can do. Go on Instagram and type in the hashtag BMX and look at all the top posts. Find those top posts and then see how many times a week that they post. I'm not saying like Brant or I should be in those tiers where we're posting 2 times a day every day. But if you're getting paid big money by companies, that's what they require. So if you go and you find, let's just say you find Dennis Anderson, because he just came out with a new video, and he should be posting like every day probably, right?
Yeah.
To promote that video. And then go into the people he follows that are all big time pro riders, and you'll see that a lot of those riders aren't posting as much. Maybe they're not with the company anymore. Maybe they're just have to work a day job. Who knows? I don't know. I think this is the conversation with Ricky, because I feel like he, at the same time, maybe not, because I think Ricky would like bite his tongue because he's in the industry too much. Like, isn't that what he said before?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to bite his tongue, but I think the conversation that I want to have isn't as much focused on the way things are, but more the way things, suggestions for the way things could be that would make it way better. Because I really don't give a shit about the way that it is now, and like keeping I don't think anything should, like, if it's possible for a change to be made and things to get better for people and for people to do better for themselves, I see no reason to keep things the way that they are, because it will keep everything. Jesus, you have to, dude, I hate the fact that you have to like clarify yourself so much to the point, because everything you say, you could have one little person scrutinize this tiny little detail and be like, oh, you said this? No, shut the hell up.
Somebody I'm trying to think of the quote, but basically we live in a world that is nothing but eggshells, and we constantly are walking on eggshells, and the eggshells are the brittle people that are around us, and we're not trying to be insensitive, but at the same time I feel like it's time to help build callus on the people that are overly sensitive. So you shouldn't be apologizing for anything. I mean, like, I wish for the day that somebody tries to take something I say out of context and actually like tries to go in on me, because I don't say stuff. So, like, for instance, like you think about what you say, and you say whatever you're saying with meaning, and I feel like I do the same thing. So you're not gonna like say something that could be twisted in a certain way that you didn't already think about. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's right there. You were just trying to do it. You're like, oh shit, like somebody could twist that around. Like, you shouldn't even have to. That shouldn't even be an issue.
You're right.
And don't apologize for that. I feel like if the people that you're apologizing to for that, fuck them. Tell them to unsubscribe.
They
Seriously,
are pussies.
Like,
I mean, if we're being real, they are pussies.
Yeah, like somebody mentioned that on one of my videos. Actually, yeah, the one you were just talking about, where I mentioned something about the social dilemma thing, and the fact that I was drinking a cup of coffee out of a Crowder mug. He like commented something. Oh, Crowder. Basically, like, I'm unsubscribing, and I was like, ta-ta. Like,
yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I didn't expect any. That's exactly what I expected. I was like, the fact that you're so close-minded to think that one person should follow one ideology and one thing. Like, I wrote this long post back to him. He never responded, but like other people responded.
Yeah.
That's the type of stuff I don't need. Like, I appreciated that he stuck around and supported me for that long, but if it took something as small as a coffee mug for you to feel the way you feel, that you had to comment like, I'm done with you, then I don't need your support.
You are not wrong. Because there's a thing in this world called you can be friends with and support people who don't have the exact same values as you do. Because you're not friends with someone. I mean, maybe you are superficial enough to be friends with someone just for their values, but I feel like most of the time a friendship comes from being friends with someone because of who they are as a person. Not so much, oh, I like Louder with Crowder and he doesn't. Or the opposite for that situation.
Yo, do you have your phone on you right now?
Yes, I do.
All right, I want you to go. I want you to go to Corey Burglar's latest post.
Okay. Shout out to Ride Concepts since it's so giant on my phone.
And I want you to check out his post and then look at the comments. There's a and this is, I mean, listen, I'm not going to apologize for how I'm speaking right now. So if you don't agree with it, cool, just hop out of the chat. There's this shim, somebody that's transitioning from a man to a woman. So therefore I call them a shim.
Okay.
Right? They are in his comments saying, like, talking all types of trash about the fact that he has a freaking Trump Pence sign in the background of his post. And then people are like this long ass post, and then people are just ripping this person to shreds. Like, this person could just kept scrolling. Like, you don't even know. For all you know, Corey could have stole that out of somebody's front yard to be funny. Like, people don't need to go that hard into people.
Yeah, it's kind of incredible. I mean, I never thought we'd get into politics. Jesus, I hate the fact that. What?
I said, my bad. I didn't know you didn't want to talk about politics.
Well, I don't care. It's just, I just hate the, I don't know the word I'm looking for. Just I hate the fact that people can't just let other people live in whatever aspect of it. And I think that that's where a lot of this and this whole conversation comes from, is that there's a lot of people who kind of can't just let other people live. It's a lot better now than it was, though. In the age of Rodeo Peanut on Instagram being like at its height, people could not just let. I mean, I'm not blaming Rodeo Peanut because it was just an ideology.
Rodeo Peanut was great. I thought it was great.
It's funny. It was an but it was like the whole attitude of people is that it was like, if you don't ride the way I think you should ride or do the things I think you should do, then I don't like you.
Rodeo Peanut would not survive right now. Like, right now in today's era of like walking on eggshells and the super polarization of just like how everything, no matter even if you don't want it to be political.
Polarization, that's the word I was looking for. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like, no, it's all good. Like, Rodeo Peanut was great. I've literally, like, they were my favorite account I ever followed because people took it so serious because they would talk about, oh, he landed in grass, and it would like zoom into like literally the blade of grass that he hit and say it didn't count it. Like, that type of shit cracked me up, and that's what we're missing. Like, not just in BMX, but like all across the world. Real comedy, like taking dishing it and taking it at the same time, like without having any animosity, like where did that ever go?
Yep. It's crazy. I don't know. Maybe people do need anonymous comment sections back so they can get their frustrations out anonymously. Because instead of having it on their Facebook feed, it was on the come up, and people could it was all in one place there.
Yeah.
It was nice.
I remember that. People, like, you could tell it's the same person though, posting anonymous and all these different, like, fake names, because, like, you could, like, see their writing was very similar, like how they wrote.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, there was a time and a place for that, and I don't think we'll be seeing that anytime soon.
No.
Not just
but I think people were more honest in the anonymous whatever. So, like, you could have your video posted on the come up, and you would find out what people actually thought. Like, you would get genuine compliments, you would get meh, and then you'd get people who hated it. and it was like, I don't know, it just felt honest. I didn't love the whole anonymous comment thing because people always talk trash about certain aspects of things. But at the same time, looking at it compared to the way it is now, I don't know. I think we all need the internet to go away for a while.
That's what I said. I think the social media, phones, everything. I mean, like, honestly, like, I meant what I said in the video too. I was like, that means, like, click out of this video and stop watching YouTube or my channel for a week, a month, whatever. Stop doing it. Like, I don't care. I don't make the videos for everyone else. I make them for me, and I hope that people do get enjoyment out of them. But I think it is very unhealthy that people spend a lot of time online and they think that's the real world. And then obviously you can tell those types of people, because the people that are out in the real world are salty and crying about every little thing. Like, not politically. I'm just saying, like, the people that are always trying to cancel people. That's what angers me so much.
Yeah, like the cancel culture.
Yeah, I had this conversation actually with Zach with Alienation, because I was talking to him about it. I was like, so he was actually we were spitballing a conversation. I'm sure he probably won't mind that I say this on here. We were spitballing a conversation about the whole Madeira thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's crazy. Like, people react really quickly about that, but nobody praises companies that basically were the leaders in basically sponsoring, I hate using the word minority, but sponsoring black people. And I hate even looking at it like that, because I feel guilty even stooping down to people's levels of basically bringing out the generalization, because I don't see a difference. I mean, that's just me, and I know that sounds like really cliche, like, oh, I don't see color. I don't, like, if you're good on a bike and you're like, you should be sponsored, cool. But, like, we were looking at, like, Alienation's team, like, from, like, 10 years ago, and versus, like, Odysseys or Sunday or Kink, and Alienation, like, more than 60% of the riders were either black or Latino. Between racing, freestyle, you had TJ Ellis, you had Andre Postel for the freestyle team, you had a street rider from New York, I forget his name right now. We had like three or four that were on the Park Street team, and then like 6 on the race team. Jeffrey Upshaw, and I'm pretty sure he's still hooked up with them. I just think it's crazy. Like, if people want to get comparative like that and try to, what my whole point was, I think it's crazy because people try to cancel companies such as Madeira, and Madeira basically canceled themselves because they were afraid of any backlash. And I don't think you should ever cower down, because then you give people the edge. I don't think that. I don't think you should bend knee to anyone. I think you should stay true to who you are, explain yourself, and if people don't accept that, then okay, cool. But at least you stood your ground,
You're not wrong, dude. That whole Madeira situation's so strange, because people, I think, okay, here's my theory about BMX. I think that at any given time, the majority of people who will talk about crap on the internet in BMX just need something to hate. They need one thing, one common thing to hate on. Because if you think about all of the periods of BMX, you can like come up with the one thing that was hated on at that time. There's always been one common thing at any given time that people just as a group hated. And the funniest part of it is that when I started noticing this was like around the time of it was around scooter kids being hated on by BMX people, and maybe a little bit before. I can't remember what came before scooter kids. But the reason that I noticed it, and I don't know if Fudger's going to hear this. I don't really care because he probably recognizes it himself. But the reason I noticed it is because I noticed that Fudger would go from being in it was in the Feeble Talk or something like that. He'd go from being like, oh, scooter kids and like being kind of negative about it to a year later or whatever later, like being like, oh, I don't care how you have fun, just have fun. Like kind of he progressed on his view on scooter kids. And then like there were certain topics and like that whole thing of noticing him like changing his perspective on it clued me in, because I realized, well, when he said that at first, everyone was hating on scooter kids. Literally everybody.
Yeah.
And then it progressed through like there was a period of time where YouTubers got just hated on majorly in BMX. Adam LZ had his own time of being hated on.
So you're saying like, so you're saying that you think like one specific like entity or organization or platform can dictate an entire wave of a generation?
I don't think that he started that, if that's where you're going. I'm just saying that I noticed the existence of it and just realized that like at the time when he was saying those scooter kids things, that's what was hated on in BMX.
Yeah, so
and then it evolved
like,
later to not be the hated on thing.
I get what you're saying, because it's hard for like people to go against the grain. So like if everybody's on the bandwagon of one thing, you know, it's kind of like how we were just talking about right now. Everybody's on the bandwagon of kneeling, basically. I'm saying that like metaphorically, like kneeling before whatever anybody's saying. Like, okay, this person is saying this about you and your organization, and you have to apologize and put out all these different things. And I say, no, don't bend the knee, stand your ground, and be the person you are, and don't change.
Yeah.
It's like if you truly aren't those things, then don't change. So like maybe during those times, like you're using scooter kids as an example, like a couple of people will say, nah, man, scooter dudes are actually pretty cool. Those people will get hated on. You know, it wasn't really until like I would say like Ryan Williams, or I would actually even say Brandon Lupos, because Brandon Lupos came from scootering. So it's like as soon as like scooter riders started to kind of trickle into BMX and kind of make a name, because even in the very beginning they were getting a lot of trash talked on them.
Yeah.
I mean, you even, I'd say up until like 3 or 4 years ago, the riding that Logan Martin does and Brandon Lupos was considered scooter circus riding. You know,
100%. Like, there was a time where park riding was hated on.
Exactly. I mean, spinner, for an example. I mean, so many people hated on spinner because it was the cool thing to do.
Yeah, he was hated on. Yep, you're right.
So, like, you have different things. I mean, Mira, it's like anything that's successful, anything that basically people think that you're using that to make money. Like, you're not actually in BMX for BMX. Everybody's in BMX for their own thing. Like, I don't know who I heard this from. It might have been you recently. It's like, if you're into, I think it was you, one of your latest videos, you're like, if you're into riding for contests, then be into riding for contests. You're into riding. If you're into riding. Oh,
yeah. It was my video from yesterday about 5 things to learn as a beginner.
Yeah, that's it. Seriously, you hit the nail on the head with that. Repeat that for everyone right now.
Basically, okay, I'll go back to that. But basically, my fifth tip in the 5 things, or fifth thing for a beginner BMX rider to learn, was just that BMX is what you make it, and that if your goal or if your experience of BMX is just going out and having fun with your friends at the skate park or riding street or whatever, then that's perfect. But also, if your idea of BMX and your goals in it are to go out and train and be pro or be in the Olympics one day, that is also perfect too, because literally like without the existence of the entire spectrum, there is no freestyle. If anything is excluded, there is no freestyle.
Yep. That's basically what I was trying to say. Is like you hit the nail on the head with that. I meant to comment on that video too and say that. So I'm glad you said it now. We got on this topic, but that's literally like that's what it is. So like every time I hear people hating on a certain area of riding, and now that I think back on it, it's always been the heavy success stories or the heavy successfulness of people in BMX, LZ, Spinner, Brandon Lupo's, and Logan Martin's riding style. Like that specific riding style now has, I don't want to say taken off because it's still a very scary riding style, but those riders are now getting more respect than they ever have been.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, maybe because that's what's keeping BMX alive. These events are keeping BMX alive in the sense that like it's keeping it in mainstream form for people. So they deserve that respect as riders, you know?
Yeah.
Or it could be because maybe those companies that they ride for are the only ones that are still sponsoring these platforms like Vital and Our BMX. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But all I'm saying is if you look back on anything that's hateful like that, it's always been people or groups that have always been successful. And
mountain bikers are right now.
The what?
Somebody brought up about mountain bikers in there. I'm not going to continue with that because I don't care. But mountain bikers and BMX riders riding mountain bikes is definitely something that was hated on for a little while when they first started doing it. And then it kind of faded away for a little bit. And now I feel like it's coming back where people are getting salty towards BMX riders riding mountain bikes again.
I don't know, man. I kind of disagree. Like, I remember when people got salty when, like, Nyquist, when there wasn't as many BMX events around, and then Nyquist went ahead and picked up a mountain bike and started entering events and drew his hands and did that. But now, like, maybe what's happening is the right BMXers, I say right, it doesn't always mean they're the right ones.
Yeah.
The right ones that people will be like, yeah, I don't want to disagree with them because I think they're actually cool, are picking up a
That's the
mountain bike.
problem. That's what ends up making people accept the things that are hated on in BMX is that the right people, just like Kurt in the chat right now, is kind of making me mad because he said that people, he said park riding is still hated on. I just hated Spinner's seat angle. Then someone asked him what the correct seat angle was, and he said, look up Chris Bennett and copy that seat angle and you'll be okay. That kind of attitude about anything is what makes these hated on things in BMX. And Kurt, I know that you're going to mess.
He's probably also just messing with you too. Like,
I know, and that's exactly part of it because he likes to get under my skin and mess with me. But it just, people don't know that in the chat, so they like believe it. And then that's what keeps it going too, is that even someone who might not necessarily believe that jokes about it, and then someone believes that. That's why meme pages in general in BMX are toxic. Because they post these things as a joke, and then you got a 13 to 15-year-old kid who sees it, thinks that that's the gospel of BMX, then goes to the skate park and talks shit on somebody for being themselves, who's also a 15-year-old kid, and it has that butterfly effect, and I hate it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, but going back to our conversation is like, an example like riders that are, quote, the right riders that people are like, oh yeah, mountain biking is not that bad. Augie Simoncini jumped on a mountain bike recently.
Of course.
Angie jumped on mountain bikes recently. All the chicks did. Like Van Homan, he went from riding those BMX mountain bikes or whatever to riding some mountain bikes. A lot of people are just dabbling with it. What the hell is his name? He used to ride for Kink. Freaking killed it. He also rode for FBM, Dick-footed rider. Come on, you can do it. Huh?
I said,
No, he did like flares and stuff on FBM team.
God, I'm trying. I don't know.
Tony something.
Tony what?
Tony Hamlin, right?
Is that the name? I was gonna say that, but I wasn't sure.
Tony Hamlin's riding mountain bikes, like bar spinning trail bikes and shit. Like I know he's out of the BMX scene, but I'm saying like people transition that type of stuff. And that's kind of like my whole point of that T-shirt I was talking about. How it was like a joke. A play on words because people are so salty when I say all bikes matter because I don't give a fuck what you ride. Like literally, if you want to ride a BMX bike with no chain, because I know people that do that literally refuse to put a sprocket chain on their bike or anything like that. They just want to coast around with 2 front wheels. That's what they've been doing for like years. That's sick. If you want to go and ride a unicycle at a skate park and do pedal grinds and flip the unicycle around, that's sick.
I saw a guy doing that one time, and it was awesome.
It's insane. Dude, you should see people doing rails and that shit. It is absolutely insane. Like, I have respect for anything. Anyone, if you're enjoying what you're doing, I'm stoked on you. And I feel like that's what everybody should do, or at least promote it. And if you're not promoting it and you're being sarcastic about it, that's cool too. But at least let people know you're being sarcastic so you don't, like, feed into that polarization of people, you know?
Right. And, I mean, sometimes I feel like this whole entire conversation can just get to a point where it feels like we're being so nitpicky and, like, the police about things. But
I'm not. I mean, people need to know, like, you and I are probably the most open-minded, laid-back, like, accepting of people. So, like, I know you let things get under your skin. Things and what people said used to get under my skin a number of years ago. I've recently in the past like 3, 4, 5 years have basically like calloused over, and literally I don't care about anything. Like anybody says anything negative, I just keep it up there. Because that you can't control it.
Yeah.
There was literally a time where like I watched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and I see that they made a bunch of money and they bought a bunch of plane tickets to beat the shit out of people. Remember that? You ever see that movie? Oh my gosh. So at the end of the movie, it's a movie about them being potheads, and somebody makes a movie about them being potheads, right? And in the process of them finding out that there's a movie being made about them, the studio has to pay them for using their likeness. And they're like, and they found out all these people were talking shit on them on the internet. So they went ahead and printed out everything anyone and everyone ever said about them. And they're talking to each other like, yo, we could buy a bunch of movie tickets with all this, not movie tickets, plane tickets with all this money. And they fly to each one of these people's houses and they quote them. They're like, hey, do you post as Magnolia Fuck on moviepoopshoot.com? And they're like, yeah, why? He's like, did you say fuck Jay and Silent Bob? Fuck them in their stupid asses? And they're like, yeah, why? And then they throw the book down and they beat the shit out of them. I'm not saying the link tonight. It's hilarious.
So funny.
That's what I visualized myself to do. And then one day I was like, you can't control it, dude. Like,
yeah.
You can only control what you can think and do. And
yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah, ever since I crashed, I just don't even care anymore.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
I really don't.
Because there's way more things to worry about, dude. Like, it could have been way worse. And way worse things have happened to people doing less than what you did.
Oh, dude, I know a guy where I used to work. He broke his leg just walking down, like, some stairs. Like, straight up snapped it in half. Crazy. But, I just want to say, Kurt, that was payback for all of the times you've purposefully messaged me saying something to get me riled up. I see you being defensive in the comments. This is what I feel like when you piss me off on purpose.
I feel like I know him. I feel like I'm so bad with like names, but I feel like I can picture his face.
He was in a live stream one time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any props. I don't have any props to anyone. I'm sure he doesn't like me. There's a lot of people who don't like me for whatever reason, but I don't really care.
Christian, I'm feeling 100% after my crash already. It's been over a month now. Tuesday was a month.
Yeah, but if you were a real man, you would go back to that dirt jump and get kick out redemption.
What do you mean? I already jumped that dirt jump.
Oh, you did a kick out? You went sideways?
I only rode the trails once since then, so no. I wasn't at a month yet. I wanted to give it a full month before I like actually did anything.
I'm teasing, dude. I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna.
You got like all sad. You're like, no, I didn't go back.
Well, I'm mostly sad because the weather hasn't let me ride.
Yeah. Is it cold there now?
It's getting there. Planning on foofing the subrail soon too, because it's been a while.
What did Kurt work in the industry?
I think like a long time ago with certain companies or something. I think he wrote for Ride or something.
I'm trying to picture him.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He says he's going to rile me up more now. That's fine. I'll publicly call you out more now. Should put a pool noodle on and hit the trails. Where would I put the pool noodle? Are you talking like just nothing on and just a pool noodle?
I highly recommend you not to do that.
I'm definitely going to do that and call it Will It Ride? Pool noodle for clothes.
Yeah. Pool noodle, riding some dirt waves on a pool noodle. Boom. 1,000,000 views.
Oh, I can finally go viral. That is hilarious.
That is funny.
On the tires. Oh, yeah, I'm not trying to ride trails with a pool noodle on my tires. That just sounds like death. Mike's like,
So
I'll try it. What?
Nah, I do got some really sick ideas that are not just like will it ride ideas, but
Oh, he froze. I thought he was just pausing. Darn it. You're back.
Nope. That I need to do it with. What?
Mike, you're not meant to publicly talk about this idea yet because you froze as soon as you started saying that idea. The universe does not want it out there yet.
There we go. We're not talking about it. We're going to hold on to it.
Yep. That's happened so many times in these, and I'm like, yep, just take the hint. I have one too. I already bought what I need. I just got to do it. Oh, Mike.
I know, I'm in a trashy area, sorry.
What are we going to do with BMX?
I don't know.
Can we see front brake, Mike Fede?
What do you say?
Someone asked if we could see front brake, Mike Fede.
Front flip?
Front brake.
Oh, front brake. Yeah, that's how it works. That's why I got carbon rims recently. So I got 2 rears so I could run a front brake, thinking that it would work. Hopefully, we'll see.
That's pretty cool. Did you lace them yet?
I laced one earlier. I was multitasking, editing and trying to lace at the exact same time. So like as something was rendering, I was trying to lace and got busy. But yeah, I'm gonna finish them up tonight. I'm gonna build up my bike for tomorrow.
Interesting. Very interesting.
They are very light. Probably the easiest wheel I've ever laced.
Really?
Yeah, like no. Literally, like I tightened every single nipple to the exact same.
Well,
like the rim doesn't bend.
Yeah.
You got me? Did I break up?
Yeah, you did, but I can hear you now.
The rim doesn't bend. It'll just break. So the truing process is just. I'd imagine it's like a plastic rim when it comes. Somebody should come out with that. Do you think that would last? Like instead of mags, like that.
I think 180 and it's gonna just destroy itself.
You think?
Yeah, well, the only reason I think that is because you got so many forces pulling at the same time that landing a trick and pushing one of those forces so that it overcomes the others, I feel like it'll be like a rubber band snapping effect where like they're all tight and then they get like, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Where something like really bad would just happen.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I saw that carbon rim thing and I was like, oh man, I don't know. I don't know if I've got the balls to try and ride a carbon rim.
I mean, BK's got them.
BK doesn't have pegs.
Well, he's pretty. I don't know. I mean, like, but I mean, Zach told me, he's like, yeah, like he goes, you know, as long as you tell everyone like they're not made, like they can fail. And I was like, yeah, I'm aware of that, but like your average rider isn't going to be riding a carbon rim. Like you're going to ride a carbon rim if you very rarely are hard on wheels. Like I'm not that hard on wheels, so
yeah.
I consider myself pretty smooth. And yes, I do case, and when I do, sometimes it can be pretty aggressive. But I feel like as you become a better rider, you know how to like absorb that impact pretty good. I'm not saying it won't fail. We'll find out.
Yeah, and I'm not saying
good.
I'm not saying that the rim would fail me. I'm saying that I would make the rim fail because I am so hard on rims, dude. Like every single time I put a wheel on, somehow I end up with a dent, a gash in the actual like the surface where your spokes go in on the inside. And if that happened with a carbon rim, I feel like it would just disintegrate because you're like affecting the structural integrity.
I looked up a bunch of different things too. Like I'm gonna be doing this on a future video as I explain like tubes versus tubeless and like carbon composite and how it works. You know, you can actually like repair carbon rims. I saw a bunch of mountain bike videos where mountain bikers were doing like real steep rock drops and going down like rock gardens and stuff like that, and their carbon rim got gouged by a rock. Wow. And he goes home, and one of the treatments you can do to it is get fine sand and super glue. You put the sand and you fill that gap up with it, and you drip the super glue onto it, and the reaction that it has, you can form it. It's not going to look just like the carbon, but it'll bond to the carbon and basically make it kind of like a shoe goo type thing.
Interesting.
It's pretty cool.
That's actually, yeah, that is really cool. And like part of me being scared of it is also my own ignorance of having no knowledge on them whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like when Zach when we first started talking about it, he was like, if I sent you a set of these, would you be down to ride them and stuff like that? I was like, well, I mean, for sure. Like, are they going to break? He's like, well, I don't know. Like, because other riders would pick them up. Like, there's somebody out there riding street with them right now.
Yeah.
I thought Alien Nation posted that, but I don't know. I mean, the way I see it, I see a lot of crazy stuff done on mountain bikes on carbon wheels. I mean, there's a Danny McCassell video of him going firecrackering downstairs. You can look that up. You should put that up on there right now. Of him firecrackering downstairs just on a carbon rim. We're talking like 50 stairs, and the rim's like fucking perfect.
Yeah, but that guy's not a human.
I'm just saying, when you watch the video and you hear the noise, you're just like, that thing's gotta be broken. He like puts up to the camera and there's like no damage on
it. They're in the chat talking about how wheels, someone said the science behind wheels is black magic. Then when you were talking about fixing carbon rims, they said black magic, and then 20 Grip said sand, blood of a chicken, eye of newts, and super glue. I mean,
very interesting. I feel like if it's to an elite, not necessarily like the style of riding, I'm saying an elite type of a rider where like, yes, this is, you're at that level. Like if you're Logan Martin or maybe even Nick Bruce. I mean, I saw a video of Nick destroying wheels recently.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, carbon, I don't think you're going to destroy the wheel. I think you're more likely to destroy the parts around the wheel and your spokes.
I got
So, like, my biggest fear is, like, I'm thinking what will happen is the nipple pulls through on the rim. I don't know. I have no idea how carbon reacts.
Well, Nick likes to ruin his rims on literally only one thing that he ever does, and that's the step down backflip barrel roll thing at his park that he's got.
Yeah.
Every time, like, he posts a messed up wheel right after he posts like a bail video of him trying that and it just destroying his wheel.
That's crazy.
You might have to go over how the brakes work on those carbon rims for somebody. What's up, Matt Watts?
So they sent me brake pads with them too that have like I should have zoomed in on camera to show everyone. They're like flat like a normal traditional pad, and they got these like angled grooves, but they have these like protruding like almost like little dimples on the end of them that look like they probably go into the grooves that are on the rim. So like if you can show anyone on the screen like what the rim sidewall looks like, and they can see the grooves are kind of cut sideways, that's supposed to be for better braking. And the pads, Zach told me, he's like, let me know what you think of the pads. He goes, you can use traditional clear pads on there too, but these ones are supposed to be specific for the actual grooves on the rim.
I got it.
Yeah, they don't show the brake pads on there. I don't know if they're like coming with all of them, but when he sent me like 2 sets because I told him I was gonna run front brakes too, or at least try now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop in my car and get out of this work car.
Pretty interesting. What's that?
I feel like you'd be all right on them, at least on a front one. I mean, do you feel like you just
definitely on the front? Front would be perfectly fine. It's just, I don't know. I get freaked out about change too.
You've been running like the same style rims forever.
Well, when the Vandal came out, I was psyched on that because it's got that braking coating on it that makes your brakes amazing, and that was cool. But I've been running Felons other than that since I got hooked up with Alienation.
Yep. Yeah, I've been running Alienation rims forever. Like, I definitely get it. I'm trying to see if I can bounce it. I'm trying to get my key out so I can get my Nerf gun out of the glove box.
No, Kurt, they don't have to be run tubeless. None of Alienation's tubeless rims have to be run tubeless. You can use them on normal tires too.
Yeah, but the deal is though, you have, if you want to run tubeless, I'm pretty sure that Alienation's tubeless rims and tires are proprietary together because of the way their tire hooks to it.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to try to use a different tubeless tire on the rim to see what the difference is, but I'm pretty sure that when you get, like, because it's made for that. If you get one of their rims, it's going to work best with one of their tires if you do tubeless.
I think it's going to work best that way, but I also think that I ran into a kid at Ray's once that had it set up tubeless with other tires.
Yeah, you can actually do tubeless with any tire. Yeah. Like, I've done it before with like a plain Maxxis tire. It's just a pain in the ass with the sealant because it'll leak everywhere.
Yeah. The Alienation's tubeless rims are crazy. I've never had a rim that locked onto a tire as well as those do, and the bead on it appears smaller than any other bead on any rim that I've ever seen too. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's one thing is like when I was like trying to focus in on the carbon rim and show people what that little lip looks like you're talking about. It's so hard to see it on camera. You can barely feel with your finger. But it's there, and that thing does, like, you almost have to use your foot to get that off there. So like I usually use my foot on the ground, like I'll put it on the actual tire to push the tire off the bead to be able to get the tire off.
Yeah, and like you have to break the bead all the way around the tire to get your tire off of there too. Yep. It's wild. Those things lock onto tires so well. It is very, very interesting. So I don't know about that one, but I'll say it. Has anyone else had a problem where they just completely break everything? Like everything.
Bike parts? Nah.
Seat post clamp? Did you break your seat post clamp?
No, I've broken the bolts. You know how you can break those little bolts in the internal ones? Like I've broken it before.
What else is there? What else could you not break on your bike? Headset, spacer?
When I used to run the plastic one, remember those? They used to make a plastic one where you could rotate it and it would notch higher. You know what I'm saying?
That doesn't count.
Who made that one?
FSA.
FSA, that's what it was.
I had some of those. I never put them on my bike.
Yeah, they were fucking crazy.
What else is there? What could you not break?
A bar end. Nah, you can break bar ends.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
People destroy bar ends. Is there anything on a BMX bike that just could not be broken?
It's a tough one.
I don't think there's anything that you couldn't break.
Because everything's mechanical.
Yeah.
To a point.
It all has.
I mean, I was going to think of a driver, but I've seen
seat
drivers
post.
explode.
I mean, people break them. People definitely break them, but I don't know if
that's probably the least likely one.
Yeah. Tire? No, dude, I've put holes in a lot of tires.
Yeah.
I broke a brake arm. Yeah, brake arms break. That's like a scary one for me. I want to get new brake arms soon because I've had mine for a while, and I'm kind of terrified that it'll break.
I've been living by those damn Springfields for like 3 years now. Those
That's
cheap old
crazy.
brakes, they're so good.
They're too much spring tension for me.
Oh, you like to be able to like real light one finger?
Yeah, well, I never use one, but I just like the feel of a very light pull. This smooth at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mike, you look like you're trying to go home.
No, I'm waiting for my car to warm up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, the SUV.
Oh,
The other car's at home.
Gotcha. Dude, it's getting cold, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I'll wait for this to warm up, or at least my heated seat to warm up. Yeah.
Man, some people...
So much for you coming out this summer, huh? You were supposed to come out to Pastrana's and pandemic and...
Hashtag pandemic special. Airing on on Comedy Central right now. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Haven't really gone anywhere.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to Pittsburgh weekend.
This weekend?
Yeah, like today. I was supposed to leave today, but we stayed. We hung tight, and we just didn't want to like risk it because the wife's pregnant, and I didn't want to like risk being around her grandparents, doing what I do. You know what I do, and I'm around like kind of stuff that's COVID-esque.
Yeah.
Not to say that I don't have COVID, but I don't want to take a chance like her like 89-year-old grandma getting it from me or anything.
Just unnecessary risk, basically.
Yeah, so we're hanging around here, but I'm going to Mountain Creek this Saturday, meet up with like a ton of BMXers.
Nice.
Speaking of BMXers riding mountain bikes, so.
That's tight. There's a street or a DIY skate park jam on Saturday here.
Now, does your town like have like restrictions on stuff like that, or they just not even know about it?
Well, it's not in the town where I'm at, but I don't know about where they're doing their thing at. I mean, things are pretty chill here. Like, every store has signs on the door that say you have to have a mask on, but half the people inside aren't wearing them, and neither are most of the people working in there.
My favorite thing is going into a place, like it happened to me 3 times today, where as soon as I go in, the person pulls their mask up.
Yeah.
Like that's working there. And I was like, you're cool, dude. Like, I personally don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the one thing I'm not going to die from is COVID.
Yeah.
So, I'm not concerned. And that could just be selfish. People would be like, oh, you're being selfish. You don't care about other people. I care about everyone. I've actually got COVID masks on my store. You should go check them out.
Bro, this is mine.
You should, yeah. Are you going to make any on Teespring?
I don't freaking know. I need to do some stuff on there. Need to make some new designs and just get it together.
Dude, I've been like going hard on that shit. I've got 3 new t-shirt hoodies, and then I figured out how to do like the vectoring for those all-over print shirts.
Yeah.
That's what I really wanted to do. Those are hard to like. I've never done anything like that before, so it was like hard for me to learn how to do like to where you can line up with the seam on there.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I've never looked into like actually making it line up on seams and things.
I mean, they got so much to offer now compared to like when I first was.
Yeah,
they
signed
really
up for
it. So much. It's like kind of. I mean, it's. When I was having this conversation with Big Boy, where he was like, "Who are you using?" Before he like started his clothing thing, he's like, "Who are you using for your t-shirts?" I was like, "I just do the Teespring thing, dude." Yep. He's like, I don't really like that because I don't really have like my hands in on it. I was like, you can request for samples and get the samples of the products to see how they are to make sure it's up to standards of what you want to sell.
Yeah.
And what it does is it takes everything out of the equation where I don't have to order 50 triple XLs and never sell them. You know?
Right. Exactly.
And the profit margin at the end of the day is much higher on Printful or Teespring versus if you go buy a limited run of 250 shirts, you know, and then
I don't
hopefully
think so.
try to sell them.
I've done that. You make a lot more money when you buy and have them printed.
Really? Even after you have to send them out to people? Because that changes every...
You put shipping in your cost. You calculate for that when you're selling them.
Yeah, but your shipping changes depending on where you're sending it. So like I've shipped out stuff to California before and it costs $6.
It's been like I was making some shirts recently and selling them, and I sent to California and to just like close, and it was still like the exact same price for one shirt. It was pretty much the same, so I could generalize it pretty close. And when you buy a shirt and have it printed, it's like it ends up being if you get like the cheapest shirts you possibly can and sell them for $20, you end up making like 12 or $15 a shirt. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, when I was making those shirts, I was buying the ones that I could get there, so I don't know the quality of those. But like on Teespring, I only use the highest quality of shirt that they let you do. So, like, I went to order samples one time, just like, oh, cool, I'll get some of these shirts and talk about them on a video. I was just going to get 2 shirts, and it was $50, even for the sample price, because they charge 15% tax for whatever reason.
What?
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of insane.
They changed a lot since that, because I just got a bunch of samples coming in, and give you an example. So, their lowest, like their basic Fruit of Loom T-shirt or whatever, like our cost, I think is $5.15, and you sell the shirt for $20. They tell you like other typical YouTube or social media channels sell for $22 or $25. This is what you should sell for. I always just sell basic $20, because at the end of the day, it's like I like round numbers. I'm not here to rip anyone off. I just, if you want to contribute to the cause, this is what I'm asking. But yeah, they've dramatically dropped. I'll look at what I spent. I think I spent like $30, and I got 2 hoodies, zip-up hoodies, 2 masks, one that says all lives matter, the other one is the American flag one American flag T-shirt, and all my T-shirt. All that for $27, I believe.
Were those all the,
and the masks I sell?
Were those all like the base level shirts?
So no, the only thing that was base level were the 2 T-shirts. So the 2 T-shirts were base level, and then the hoodie, they only make like one kind of hoodie. There's no like premium. The masks, the 2 masks, and so I got 2 hoodies, 2 T-shirts, and 2 masks for $27. My cost as like samples. I don't know if that means. Well, the thing is, like, if you look in your Teespring thing, not that we need to get on this on YouTube, but like you get different charged differently depending on how much you've sold.
Well, I don't sell anything.
So like when I first started my Teespring thing and I was promoting it with my last run of designs, like I sold like almost 1,000 items.
That's insane.
Between Instagram, and that's when Big Boy like hit me up and was like, dude, what are you doing? I was like, I'm not like forcing it on people. Like, he posts a lot. Like, he'll literally twice a day in his story, OBB shop, and I give him shit for it. Like, I'll message him about it. I'm like, dude, come on, like, people get it. Like, you gotta shop. I don't really force it. Like, every so often I'm like, hey, like, if you guys want to contribute, like, this would be great. I made these designs, if you're into that, and people will buy them like 2 or 3 at a time. And what I'll do is sometimes if I know, when I first come out with a drop, I'll run a better special, like buy one, get one 50% off type of deal, just so that it gets more out there and gets them like feeding the design or that idea into them, to want more.
Yeah, I maybe sell one thing every like month or 2.
But no, look in your analytics or something on there. It basically, and you'll see the tier that I'm talking about. What it'll say, like, once you reach, I forget which tier it is, but like your items become X amount of price. It'll show you the different tiers on how much your items, like your cost of your items will cost you.
Yeah.
So your profit margins change based on how many of those items you've sold. So that's why I think buying was cheaper for me to get samples for all those things, because I've sold a lot of T-shirts.
Yeah.
Like when I get home, I can show you the cost. I think the cost of my t-shirts are like a little under $4, like my cost.
Yeah. Yeah, mine are way, way, way more than that because I use like the best ones that they let you that are like $12.
I use that too for my own personal ones because I like the thin. I like that. Like, I mean, lately I've been putting out like options. Like, if you want the premium one, it's $2 more. If you want the regular basic, it's like $20.
Yeah.
The premium ones do fit good. They're nice. I wish that they made longer ones or like the ducktail type of shirts. Because I carry, and I want a longer shirt, but they don't carry anything like that.
Right. Yeah, I go on here and try to order a sample. One shirt's $13.
That's much higher than mine. You should, like, for instance, I think is that the premium one?
Comfort tee.
Yeah, so that's it's not the basic Hanes, right? What's the basic Hanes one?
I don't know. I don't have any of those on here because I don't offer those.
No, you don't have to. Just go to design. If you go to
you mean just like making it yourself and buying it there?
No, just go to design, because if you don't have it on your store, then you don't know the price. So that's probably why you don't know the price of the basic one. I'm just trying to see because I don't know the premium price off the top of my head for me, but I know my basic price because I wanted to see what it looked like and how it felt. Of those were pretty cheap.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Here? What are people saying?
There's one dude who keeps just talking about how all the stuff that he breaks all the time. He must be like going harder than anybody because he's literally broken everything and breaks things all the time. That's need awesome. To get your break one. That is dope. I like the design of the Ohio ones, but I'm not from Ohio. Yeah, see, that's a thing too. I made a bunch of Ohio shirts.
What do they say? Just Ohio, or are they like a BMX related shirt with the silhouette of the state?
There's a lot of different things, like a wheel silhouette inside of the outline of the state. Just lots of different things. I have one of me ice picking Ohio because it's kind of a quarter pipe shape.
Oh, cool.
Some shovels in Ohio.
Yeah, I got some requests last night because I did like a random live stream, and some people requested that live in Canada, like, hey, you should make that American flag one, a Canadian flag one too. I'll buy it. So that got me thinking, like, I wonder how hard it'd be for me to like just take basically like all the popular countries that follow the channel and just make their own, you know?
Yeah. Probably because not very hard. Because at the end of the
day, like, it was all based on the 2020 crap that we're going through, and I feel like everyone's going through the same thing, so why not do it for their country?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You have a very business mindset that my brain just fails to think of sometimes. Sometimes I wish I thought and could think of those things on my own.
Start a business, bro.
The YouTube is a business. Ice Pick America. You are such a genius. See, all of my ideas come from other people.
What's up, cat? What's up? Oh, fuck.
Your cat is stoked.
I know, this cat is so noisy, it's not even funny.
Yo, it is kind of a quarter pipe shape. It'd be an opposite ice pick. Or it could be an over ice pick. It's an over ice. That's what it is. Cool. Mike, it's been an hour and a half. It's 11 o'clock. I got to wake up early. You just got home. So I'm going to let you do your thing, and we'll jump on here again soon.
Oh, I got the carbon wheel. I'll show you real quick.
Oh, wait. We can't jump out of here like that. You're right.
Let's put it under the light.
There's the grooves.
Oh, yeah. We got to get the... Hold on. Brake pads. Brake pads are downstairs. All right. Look like a traditional pad. Let's see if I can get the light. See? Traditional pad.
Interesting.
They got like these weird little groovies.
Well, how long are those going to last?
I have no idea.
You
Kind of
know,
see
like
that.
how long's that rubber gonna take to just go flat?
I don't know. They're a lot harder than what my other brake pads are. Actually, I have the rim. Another one of those rims right here, so I can just check it. God, it's so damn light. It's ridiculous.
Who makes those brake pads? You don't know?
Let me see. Doesn't even say anything on there.
They're not like Alienation brake pads. They're just some brake pads.
Yeah, man, they don't say anything on them. Oh, wait. What's that say? Oh, it just says toe in. So this is the toe in side. I asked him today before I laced it. I was like, are these directional? Like the rims? He's like, nah, but he goes, I imagine they probably would be better going that direction, but because they're not directional. I was like, oh.
Makes sense.
So this is what they look like on the rim. Bad lighting, sorry. But it's like perfect height. I don't know, man. I have no idea. I can't tell you. I think I'm probably going to have running clear pads, that's for sure.
It's going to be interesting to see. It would be interesting to see, because most mountain bikes are using disc brakes, how the clamping force of brake pads on a rim will affect the carbon fiber, if it does.
Yeah. Like the grooves that are on the rim are so minimal. I'd say it feels like you just took like a razor blade and scratched the paint on your bike. Like you can feel it on your fingernail, you know?
Yeah.
That's what it's not deep at all. Like you could barely feel when I'm running my finger on it. But then when I run my nail, I can feel it that way. But it's so much lighter than this rim. Actually, pretty close.
It's really interesting to see.
Pretty close, or the same weight. It might be the same weight for all I know.
As what?
As the... Is this the Mischief?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'll let you hop off the live stream. We'll just chat in a little bit.
Yeah, dude.
I'll be here for a little while.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for jumping in here and chatting with everybody and just having a good time.
Yeah, anytime. Let me know if you and Ricky are into it tomorrow. And
we are going to do one tomorrow.
Let me know. You're not doing one, or you are?
We are, I think.
Oh, cool.
As long as it's still happening, yes.
Cool. Let me know if you need any stickers printed.
Okay.
Got you.
Hey, people.
Lit.
Check out Mike's YouTube and stickers and Teespring.
Here,
It's lit.
I'll show you my my sticker machine. I'll let you go.
Okay.
It's pretty much a mess, but that's the machine.
Oh, that's basically a Cricut.
Is that what they call it? Cricut? It's like such a mess in here. This is like the first round of a sticker that I made.
All bikes matter.
It's too big, but like the other ones that I made recently are much smaller text, and they got like a little stick figure bike next to it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm here to just stir the pot, dude.
If somebody's gonna do it, I'm glad it's you.
Word.
That's all
right,
I'm
everyone.
saying.
Appreciate you tuning in to Branch Channel. If you guys want to, shut up, cat. If you guys want to watch any of my videos, click on my videos on my channel. Go comment on Branch Channel and what you guys want us all to talk about tomorrow, and we'll see you.
No, kitty. That's a bad kitty.
Bad kitty.
All right. See you, dude.
Later.
All right, folks. That's it. I got to wake up early for work tomorrow, so I'm going to jump out of here. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll be here tomorrow, probably like 8:30 with Ricky, and we'll be doing a live stream with him talking about sponsorship, the industry, and how things could change, or some ideas to help improve the way things are and make riders, just improve riders and what they get. So yeah, see you tomorrow, everyone. There will also be a video tomorrow. Good night.